Well, we've discussed some patient issues and faced in your practices. Another one is market expansion. And while we've seen some steady growth of the market in the last couple of years, our general 3 to 5%, it's nowhere close to what we'd like to have, and market penetration is still kind of stuck at 25%. What kinds of things can we realistically do you guys think we can do to increase market penetration and get more hearing aids on people who need them?
One of the things is we need to involve the community for awareness, but also the physicians, dentists, because these are the people that are dealing with the patients that can't hear them. Okay, so I know we've reached out to many physicians in this area that carry like our brochures, our office information, and they don't just have them in the lobby; they have them actually back in the patients' rooms for us. So that's a huge referral for us as far as keeping our business going. Another thing is you need to create the practice that really provides everything that they need. Not just come get a hearing test and we'll give you a hearing aid and see you later and do some follow-ups. Mm-hmm. But like we just expanded our office and we have developed a media room so that they can come in. So it's got theater seats. It's got a 52-inch big screen in it. It's got the different mobile media things that we use and the media streamers. So and we have demo in-the-ear hearing aids that fit different people, and so they can come in and they can sit down and watch Grumpy Old Men or whatever that's playing on, or watch the news or watch Animal Planet, and they can just sit there. And we've got office staff that says, okay, this is how this works. Here's a remote. So they get that idea before they ever get back for the hearing test. So when we start talking about stuff, they know, and they know, hey, not only can they correct my hearing, they can help me when I go out to a meeting, or they can help me do this. So it's got to be a complete system. That system, when they go home and they tell their friends, and they go home and say, hey, you're not just getting a hearing aid there. These people know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it just needs to be more involved, other than you just selling a product.
Well, comprehensive patient care.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's it.
Because reaching out to physicians is one thing, but really caring and taking care of your patients in every avenue of their lives, I think, is really important. And the demonstrating before they think you're trying to do something, for them.
Yeah, I agree with the community education too, because that piece is so vital, getting the word out there. I'm seeing more and more younger people coming in because the devices are now smaller. They're, you don't think about them like the huge hearing aids from the past. So they're a lot smaller, less conspicuous. And now, if you look at it, people have all these Bluetooth devices on their ears anyway. So there's less stigma associated with it. Exactly. And now with the advent of Bluetooth, we have a lot of streamers, a lot more compatibility, like you were referencing to, being able to watch TV, being able to listen to your phone, being able to do so many different things. And as I'm seeing more younger people, it's really nice, because what you're seeing is that if they're getting aided and using that earlier, then they're not losing that understanding as they get older. So it's a really important piece to address it as soon as possible. So.
Yeah, I think that's. I think we're always going to be battling the issue of market penetration, but I think what they're talking about is the key. If we take care of the people that come to us, honestly, if we really do a good job, and every once in a while we really do a good job, what happens is they tell their friends, she's a nice person. She really takes care of me. That's the way you want to go. She's thorough, and that's where they're going to treat you honestly, and they're going to really take good care of you. That's where you want to go. And they tell their folks. If they don't like you, they tell everybody. Oh, yeah. If they really like you, they'll tell a few people. But they're going to talk about you. And the technology's gotten so much better. And you're right. I mean, gadget people. My son's, he'll be 31 this year. My daughter's like 27. So they're used to having things in their ears and all. They want to connect to everything. I think that's past me, to be honest with you. But I just fed an old cowboy the other day, and he got a TV bundle because it was part of a package we were doing. And I sent him home with it, and I said, you just figure it out and hook it up, Leonard, okay? He called me and he said, this doesn't work. But he was looking for another part, but he had all the parts. When he finally got it together, he says, wow, I like this.
Big difference.
Yeah.
It really works good, you know? So I think that the technology's gotten better. I think, but if you take care of the people,
Correct.
I think it will spread out. But
Well, and we think that the elderly population aren't interested in
Oh, see, I
the
don't
streamers.
think, I don't
Right,
think
well,
that at
people
all.
tend to think that, I think, but I don't,
No,
because I
no.
think
Yeah.
that the more comfortable they are, and the more that you're helping them for their particular things, remote mics, the streaming,
Correct.
and they see the difference and the improvement, and you're able to show it to them, it's night and day for their lives.
Correct.
Yeah, I've got people in their 80s that are using the streamers to watch television with.
Correct.
Through, listen through the hearing aids.
Yeah, when the streamers first hit the market a couple years ago, well, we bundled them. We bundled the packages like what you did, and I don't bundle them anymore. But when we did it, I swear for the first 6 months, everybody that came into the office was like 94. So we just immediately in that bundle said, we will come. I would say to the husband and wife, do you need help hooking this up? And the husband would go, no, I can do it. And the wife would go,
yeah.
and I'd say, are you sure? And so if he was real adamant, I'd say, well, call me if you need help. But the rest of them, we just went out. We would go out in the evenings. We'd set up a date. We'd go out and we'd hook it. We'd hook them up for them right in the home. And then they would, and by doing that, pretty soon their neighbor was calling, hey, my friends, you came and hooked something up on their TV. Can we get that? And I'm like, yes, but you got to get everything. Oh yeah, we know that. But so by doing that, you just help. I think we all do direct mails and the newspapers, and we do cable TV. It's all about, you have to brand your office and yourself. Hopefully yourself is what you're branding, and then try to find little niches. The hospitals are good niches for everybody because they have all the community outreaches. The churches, because they're always doing health fairs. You have to do a wide gamut. That's the market penetration. That's the only way to do it.
It's interesting because my guess is that what happened there, you installed it, and when they went over to watch TV, they couldn't hear it anymore because now it's turned down. I was thinking, what caused them to want to get the other package of stuff? And it probably was they could no longer hear it because everybody had it up so loud. Now they put this thing on. They were comfortable and everybody else was uncomfortable. And yeah, it's fascinating.
Well, and with the little open fits, it's like, well, here.
They could,
Oh, that's cool.
could share them. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I think they were all in their 90s. So yeah, we did a lot of hookups in the first 6 months.
The other thing that is interesting with what's relating to hearing loss now is we're seeing, I'm sure you heard all this about all what we call comorbidities with other disease states, and the one with dementia is really very fascinating. This thing from Johns Hopkins where they looked at people with hearing loss and dementia and saw a significant link, and then also looked at those folks that had gotten amplification earlier seemed to have a much later onset. So I think that's going to be something that there's another whole group of physicians that hopefully will recognize this comorbidity and begin to talk to those folks about,
Yes.
listen, here's something you need to do. And there's 3 or 4 others, kidney disease, all these ADH kids and all these others that also have a very high incidence of hearing loss associated. Heart disease is another one, so diabetes is another. So I think, hopefully those physicians and those specialties will, obviously they'll recognize it because they're reading it in their professional journals, like we read our professional journals, and will begin to refer those patients and say, listen, you need to really do this because I understand you might have this comorbidity. Oh yeah, well I'm not hearing very well too. Oh well, then let's get you to Cecile's office or something. And I think that's
That would be another. And I don't know if it goes out to like different in the communities to different Alzheimer's support groups. If that information goes out, I have some customers in there. They've started like a daycare for adults at one of the churches, and it's very big and popular now in Sebring. And they were in my office, and I was telling them about this study, and I gave them the flyer that we had on it, and they were, oh, this is such good information, and da 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 da. And I'm like, after they left, I was like, wow, you don't know this.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. You don't know this. So
I mean,
that's,
this is just
that's
published in the last
probably
couple of
another,
years.
Yeah,
Sure.
and that's probably would be a good way. I mean, everybody puts it in the newspaper. You guys have put it in the newspaper. We put it. Everybody puts it in the newspaper. But for that organization not to have had it, I thought that was, interesting.
Dr. Frank Lynn from Johns Hopkins, he wrote an article in the Hearing Review as part of an overall package that we did on the topic, and he pointed out that, you know, I think we have to be careful about what we say about amplification and dementia. We can't say that amplification will prevent it.
Right.
No.
It certainly is, the evidence certainly is pointing to what we've probably known all along, that it's a use it or lose it type of proposition with brain and hearing and cognition.
And you want to, this is kind of a, I have to give you guys this because it's really funny. I had a customer in, and she was, I did not know how old she was, but she came in for a follow-up. She'd had her hearing aids for several months, and she, no cane, no nothing. She looks like she's 75, 76 years old. And as she sat down in front of the videotoscope, the daughter was behind me going, "Tell her to wear her hearing aids, tell her to wear them." And I was like, said, "So are you wearing your hearing aids?" And she was just there for cleaning. I hooked them up, and like 2 hours a day is what's reading on the data log. And so I said, and which means nothing. She was not wearing them, you know. So, and I said, "So are you wearing your hearing aids?" "Oh, I wear them when I need them, honey." And I said, "You know, there's been links to dementia, and you know, so I went the little gamut, you know. Really, it's best if you wear your hearing aids. It takes you longer, you know, keep your brain functioning well into your senior years." I said, "You know, we don't want you to get dementia." And she says, "Well, when do you think I'm going to get it? I'm 97. And I looked at the daughter and I said, "You're on your own."
Yeah.
So you gotta ask people how are they before you do that.
I know you brought up the point about the, you know, use it or lose it kind of issue, and I know that that's something I would always counsel my patients. I said, if you can give me 2 weeks using them every day for at least 6 to 8 hours, come in and tell me how it's, and invariably the first week is the rough, and then afterwards they're like, "I'm used to it, it's going well," because I'm like, it's like running a marathon. You're not going to go out and run those 26 miles the first day. You're going to kind of build up, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get used to it and use that auditory system. So.
One of the problems about